What's going on, Virgo? This is your girl Venus Archangel here with another love reading for y'all. Looking like some things kind of went down, and I think you guys are trying to figure out which way to go from whatever happened. Okay, it'll look easy and look good, but the worst is over. Let's go ahead and get started. What's going on, Virgo? Welcome back, welcome back. Let's go ahead and get up into this. Okay, so it's looking like a situation went down. Okay, the underlying energy of this whole reading is about what went down, what you got from that information, what you got from the situation, but ultimately how you survived. Okay, and I think that the situation was so detrimental. That it's a little bit hard to kind of get you back on your feet. It's a little hard. But the good thing is the worst is over. That's the understanding of this card. The worst is over. The worst is over. And what can you take? What can you take from the situation? Are you going to just kind of pretty much understand what happened to move forward? Or is this going to be your motive or your way of proceeding forward? Now, what's clarifying this is the Four of Cups. I think you guys were hit with a situation where you had to make a decision about something that kind of left you feeling apathetic. Like you were just pretty much like confused, not confused per se, but felt stuck in a situation. Ultimately, you had to make the best decision for you, even if it wasn't the best outcome. Okay? But ultimately, guys, this energy is pretty much saying like, what are we going to do from here? What are we going to work from here? And what experiences did you gain? And ultimately, why, like, I guess, yeah, pretty much where we're going from this, and like, I guess, what experiences, or what perspective did you gain, even though it was such a tragic kind of ending to a situation. Now, in the heart of your reading, which is pretty good, I'm happy to see, is the Ace of Wands. So you got a new exciting beginning coming. You got something that can really bring out the passion and the flavor in your life. It's all about spice, right? So the spice is trying to come back. The spice is really trying to make its way towards you and really trying to bring you trying to help you discover where you truly lie, where your true passions are. Because honestly, Ten of Swords can leave a really bad taste in your mouth. But the thing that's keeping you from this new beginning was where you're kind of in between right now, because you're in between worlds right now. You have the Ten of Swords and the underlying energy. You're ending a situation, and the situation's like trying to come up to a close, and you're trying to get to the next step, but you don't know where to go per se. You don't know how to start. You don't know where to start. And I think you have a lot of passions. You got a lot of avenues to kind of take forward, push forward. But I don't think you have a clue exactly which one to pick. And it's understandable considering that you kind of had a pretty messed up ending. I think you've developed so many different ideas and perspectives that you're ready to kind of pursue. You're ready to pursue wherever you wanted, what you wanted to pursue. But you have a lot of them. So how are you going to do that? What are you going to do? What are you going to change? What are you going to pick? Now, the cards will never be able to tell you what you should choose. They're just going to give you, information. Okay? And why are they indecisive? Let's go ahead and pull it for that. No, I don't want that card. I didn't finish asking that question. All right? Come on, guys. Yes. All right. All right, fine. Emperor. So you're trying to figure out which passion to pursue to really bring into fruition, because the Emperor is that yang energy, it's that do energy. Okay, because the Empress is that yin energy. She just creates, she receives information, and she lets it flow. Emperor, he's more of a harsh energy because he's the one that does the stuff. He's the one that gets his hands dirty. Actually, the Emperor doesn't. He instructs people to get their hands dirty, but he still gets the stuff done. He still gets it done on time. He still gets things proper, right? So I think you're trying to figure out how to take control of your life right now. You're trying to figure out what exactly you need to pursue, or what you want to pursue, and how you're going to take control. What you're planning to pursue. You're trying to get control back in your life. You're trying to get that control back for yourself. Okay? In the past, there was something missing. I think something happened where you kind of just was like, you know, the 3 cups that was, the 3 cups that were in the 4 of cups underneath the 10 of swords here. I think that's what you guys were focusing on. And I don't know if this was like something that you truly just did not care about anymore, or this was something that you had attachments to. This was something that you truly felt was, you know, supporting you for quite a long time. To see it go, it's not easy. Hell no. Not easy at all. So what this kind of did for you is really recognize the support that you had, and I think it really, the reason why you have the 10 of swords is because although it was painful to let go or to see, you know, the support that you had kind of, you know, end that way, the way it did, you appreciate it for what it was, and you understand what they are. Okay? So I feel like in the past, yes, you had lost some things. You lost something that was near to you, near and dear to you, something that was important. But I think what you also realize is that you have 2 cups there in the past. Like, you still have those 2 cups. You still have a relationship to work with. So if this is a relationship in your life where you're trying to start something new within your relationship, I think you're recognizing that despite everything that kind of went down, how it went down, why it went down, whatever was lost, right? You still have a connection. You still have that love there. Love is still there. Now, why is the 5 of Pentacles? Why is 5 of Cups there? Excuse me, not 5 of Pentacles. Why is 5 of Cups there? Jeez, let's see. Justice. Okay, so there needed to be some balance done. Like, there was some correcting, some balancings, some evening of the odds. Okay. Not an easy thing to do. Not an easy thing to do. You had to do it for yourself. The situation had to be done for the right purposes. So everything had to be done through the karmic order, okay? So if there was a working right for you, if it was a working right for them, if the relationship was just not what you wanted, it needed to be changed. And the way it had to happen is not the way anybody would probably want it to happen. And I feel so sorry for you guys that you have to even deal with that. But the thing is to remember is that now you guys can start fresh. You guys can start something new. You guys can really push forward and put in your true influences, right? Not bad influences. You're trying to figure out direction to get to this. So a place where you celebrate and feel good within your relationship. Not constantly have to feel like, oh, okay, well, I'm not getting the support that I need. I'm not getting that comfort. I'm not getting that emotional, safety net that I was wanting in my relationship. Okay? All right, Virgo. So right now, I think because you understand that what was lost was necessary to be lost, you've gained some sort of balance that was needed in the past. I think you guys now have moved to the 10 of Cups. I think, which is great to see, because especially despite the 10 of Swords here. 10 of Swords looks like it's saying to you that despite everything that was lost, even if it was pretty detrimental, I think where you've reached is a certain level of emotional completion. I think you completed something emotionally. Like you've got to the end of the cycle with something that's really emotional for you. Okay? I don't think it was easy to deal with, honestly. But I think, honestly, you've come up with some idea of what your wish is, or what you may want, despite the difficulties that you had faced. I think you notice now that your love is important. Your love deserves to be blossomed in a way that should be blossomed. And even though it didn't end in the, like I said, even though the relationship or the situation didn't end in the way it was the best, there is solace now. Like there is a sense of content in completing the cycle that needed to be completed for the betterment of yourself, for the betterment of your family, the betterment of your relationship. You know what I'm saying? I think some of you guys could have recently had a child. But most importantly, I think you've reached that point of acceptance, honestly, with this 10 of Cups, because the emotional communication was there. Okay? Emotional communication was there. You stood up for yourself. You stood up for what you believed in. You stood up for your feelings. You put yourself first. You put your emotions first. And I think that it's liberating all in self. You know, you showed yourself that you love yourself, and you showed the person that you were with that despite how much you love them, you're not gonna let them do anything they just want to do. If they can't give you what you feel like you need, then you understand that whatever had to happen, and you know, it's just pretty much like an acceptance moment. Like, you just kind of like, hey, I get it, but I can't, you know, you gotta do you. And I think that's what's up. You're in a good place right now because you stood up for yourself. So, good for you. I'm sorry for everything that's happened, but really good for you guys. Now, because you guys put yourself in a situation where you guys have gained new confidence, to gain that self-esteem based off of being that being the person that stands up for yourself. I think you got into a place where you're having to decide, I guess you're coming up with something that, like, I guess you're waiting on something. You're waiting on something. Because you stood up for yourself. I think there's a period in time where what you're working on is going to pretty much, I don't want to say it might frustrate you, but I think it might bring up thoughts of what you're doing to be worth the effort, if that makes sense. 7 of Pentacles, that's talking about, let's talk about working really hard, doing everything that you need to be doing, but you're not really seeing the reward from it. Why? Six of Swords, the transition. So I think you've, in the future, because you did what you needed to do, you're leaving something behind to get to something new. I think in the future, you might feel like you have some doubts. You might feel like this decision or what you're doing isn't worth it. You're not feeling like, is it worth the reward? Is it worth this? Trust me, guys. What you guys have done, it's empowering. You have done something very strong for yourself. Just because it may be difficult to kind of get, to kind of move on from there, really just kind of build something new for yourself, it doesn't mean that it's not worth it. Standing up for yourself is always worth it. Standing up for what you believe in, standing up for your emotions, it's always important. So, in your future, it looks like there's going to be some doubts. Like, you're going to be second-guessing the actions that you've made now. But you're taking control of your life. You're taking control of who you are. You're standing up, you're being the boss of yourself. And that's all right. It's always okay. I think what you have to figure out, though, is why it matters. Why are you doubting? Why are you doing that? So in the future, just be mindful that if you're having doubts now, or you're starting to gain some doubts, really understand why you're having those doubts. Figure out what exactly is it that's making you doubt. Because this transition, what you're leaving behind as a life or a situation that was no longer going to serve you. There's nothing really you can do in that moment. You did everything that you could. You lived in the moment, and you did what you could. 10 of Swords, you did what you could with what you got. You did the best you could with what you got. So you just have to, like, trust in yourself at the end of the day. Okay? Now, it's going to be a struggle. The crowning energy is the 5 of Pentacles. So this is not an easy energy to kind of incorporate in your advice, but to remember to push on despite where you are, despite how you may be feeling. I think it's to understand that there's help available right now. You're never alone in this. If you're in a situation where you're just tired or you're battered and you're really just freaking exhausted, there's always going to be help around you. Okay, be mindful of that. You don't ever have to do anything on your own. Okay, the Emperor, he does stuff on his own because he feels prideful enough to do it. Don't let your pride get in the way, but also understand that you are a person too. You're a human being too. If you need a hand or you need someone to lean on, you can do that. Okay, this talks about also there's a relationship that's still here as well. So I don't see the ending of a relationship. I feel like there is something that concluded in regards to something emotional that wasn't, you know, that wasn't working for you. But I feel like what you have noticed, what you're noticing now, is a lack of emotional support, lack of financial support. Whatever you're noticing now, that's something that you can build off together. It's something that's an issue. Yes, it's apparent, but you can do something about it now. Okay? It's just you have to take charge. You have to be absolute in yourself. You have to know that you can handle that. You have to know that, hey, you know what? This ain't working for me. What can we do together? You know? For those of you that are in a relationship, okay? So if you need help, you need help. If you need to talk to your partner about help, you need to just talk to them. It's all about how you communicate and how you move forward, because there is still a relationship here. In the past, there's 5 of Cups. There was the 2 of Cups, right? The 3 Cups that fell. The ones that you were really working hard to decide what to do with. I think what you hadn't seen was that there was still a relationship to build off of, despite everything that was kind of calming down like a tower, pretty much. I don't see the tower here. Nothing crumbled. The shit did not work out very well. But there's still a relationship there. There's still something there. You still work with something. You just have to do it together. You have to believe that your connection is strong enough to withstand the difficult time. Okay? Now, in your whispers of love, you guys have slowed down. When you are excited, you get ahead of yourself. Take some time to allow things to unfold. Okay? I think this is talking about really, because the 10s, you can't really do much. You just kind of experience the 10s. You experience the situation. So right now, I think right now, just to completely, fully understand the situation, to completely understand the cycle, completely understand what you're feeling and what you communicated and how you did it. Take a step at a time right now. And that's what the 5 of Pentacles is saying. Take a step together. Take a step at a time. You can't rush because you're tired, right? So just work with what you can. Remain diligent, but you don't have to charge. You don't have to figure out anything immediately. Okay? But you also want to enjoy and experience the moment fully, okay? Because you guys have new life as your wisdom of the oracle. You guys have reached a period in your life where you're just like, this is different. This is new. This is something that's you're ending a cycle. You're ending an emotional cycle. Okay? You've gained some experience that you can take onto the new journey. You got new ideas, new perspectives that you can use for this next period in your relationships, to the next period of your life. You can use those things, but you have to take the time out to really understand what happened. Take the time out to truly understand the new boundaries that you made for yourself. Truly understand your emotional needs, so that way when you get into the next phase, you have all this in mind and you're ready to really build off of that and take on the next challenges that come your way. Okay? Man, y'all, this is tough. I'm sorry. And I hope you guys are doing okay. And I hope you guys will, you're doing better. But one thing I do want you to remember is that the worst is over. Take your time, man. You gotta recover in the way that you can truly recover, Don't let it stop you from growing if you're still slowed down. So take your time. Truly absorb everything that's happened. Take some time, getting back on your feet, because it's tough. Alright, Virgo. I love y'all, okay? And I really hope that this, everything, is alright. I hope that you guys really begin to prosper truly from standing up for yourself, doing what you need to do. Okay? Good luck, y'all, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all. Happy Thanksgiving.